said, my name is Kim MacPhee, and I am the clinical resource nurse for Cobble Manor in Surrey and Riverview Manor in Montague. So between the two sites, I have the honor of working with 100 long-term care residents, which makes the job worthwhile. I got into nursing. I would say, nursing in general. I don't think it's something you become. I think it's something that you're born, because in reality, nursing is it's as much about the heart as it is about the brain and the body. And I think that I'm very fortunate to be a nurse for that reason. Registered nurses, we have the greatest depth of knowledge base for providing care for our clients, whether they be at home or in hospital or in long-term care, which we strive to make their home. We are able to look at the big picture, everything that affects the resident, whether it's their physical diagnosis, their mental health, their and person-centered care is our goal in long-term care. It's to remember the dignity and to honor their choices and preferences in their last days when they live with us in long-term care. It's nationally broadcast every day. You hear on the news that our population in Canada is aging, and as our population ages, there's more people, unfortunately, afflicted with dementia, the various types of dementia. And although we understand it as nurses, families are still struggling with this information, as are the residents. And we're very fortunate that they're continuing to study dementia and geriatrics, because it's nice that we do see changes and that we do see developments. A lot of times I find that whenever people are struggling with it, they don't have the correct information. And as a resource nurse, that's my role, is to educate and inform family members and residents and the staff about dementia and about the stages and the developments, so that as they understand it, they're better able to care for their family members or their clients, our residents. And this in turn helps the residents receive better quality in their last days when they live with us. As a nursing leader, my role as clinical resource nurse, I'm the same as the other nurses who work in our building, with just a different role. My role is to support all of our staff and all of our residents, so that if we need standards or new best practice changes, things that are going to benefit our clients, because in the end, that's our goal, is for our clients, our residents. So as new things develop, or as new things change, or if we need to reinforce things that are currently in place, and it's to mentor and support the staff through these changes and to provide the care for our residents. Sometimes it's just about listening to the challenges that they have on the front line, to the way that things are working, or to the problems that are developing, with ways to perform their role, or with ways to support the clients and families that we're caring for, or the staff. It's a mentorship role. It's helping all the staff understand this information, because if we are the holders of this broadest depth of information, then we need to share that, because we need to get that across to the front line. The care plan is something that I learned about when I went to long-term care. It's really an amazing thing. It's more in depth than physical problems or the day-to-day. It's information. It's collaborative, and it includes the family. It includes disciplines that are involved with this person, which makes it unique and individual to that person. So it may include OT or physio or dietary services, physicians, any specialists that may have been involved in the resident's care. But most of all, it includes the information that comes from the resident, their choices and preferences, and we're able to create what we call the I-Care plan. It's written as though it has been written by the resident for the staff to better understand you. It talks about their preferences and their simple pleasures and things that will make their days and evenings and nights better for them. So it's a work with everybody. It is coordinated and created by the registered nurse, who has the big picture of the resident care, and we incorporate their medical diagnosis and some of the challenges that may come with that, and we incorporate ways that work best for that resident, because even though they may have health issues and memory problems and all the problems that come with dementia, we still need to incorporate how things are going to work for that person based on their choices. To reach the nursing profession, it's something I always knew. I'm really fortunate. I see young people these days struggling at grade 12 about what they actually want to do. It was never a problem for me. I always knew that I wanted to be a nurse. So I think I'm very fortunate that way. I just always wanted to be in that role. I grew up with, I had two grandmothers and a great-grandmother and a grandfather, so I grew up with the elderly close to me, so it really impacted my life, which I'm very happy that it did, because it really set the stage for my adult career. Well, to be honest, I went there for a change. I spent 17 years in acute care. I worked in the emergency department at KCMH, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. But I was getting a little bit tired, and I needed to change, so I did a temporary summer position at Colville Manor. And I really felt that it was a temporary summer position, but when I started working with the elderly, I was hooked. It's the respect and the level of, I don't know, it's so gratifying to work with seniors. They have so much to give. Because I love it. I just love it. I feel it's little things. It's not like giving a pain medication and seeing the instant relief of pain. It's the day-to-day things that you can do every day, whether it's putting pictures of their wedding where they can see them, because they may think that they're at that age, if their brain has made it that way for them with their dementia. And it's the little things. It's the smiles, and it's the peace you see, and helping people to settle in this last stage in their life. Well, you have to think on your feet. You have to be able to prioritize. Things change. Even I always felt that in long-term care things were the same, but they're not, and that's great, because it's nice to have changes and challenges in your job. I think that it's the ability to prioritize and to have all that information and training, from our basic skills to those that we enhance with our experience. When you develop your intuitions and your gut feelings, and I think you can. It's our training and our experience and our time. Registered nurses are a valued member to the healthcare system, because we have a great depth of knowledge, from our basic skills to our training and our intuition, and we can provide a level of care to the residents that's required. In particular, with the model of care changing, we're taking on greater roles. We're quite independent, and people in other scopes not only expect but appreciate and require our training and our knowledge and our information that we can share, because we need to work together and to make that difference. We rely on each other's information, and we have that respect that when we provide information, in particular to people that are off-site, that we know that our information is valuable. Our experience and our intuitions, things that we develop over time. Our education and our training and our skill set when we are working, we have. It's to a greater degree. We delve deeper into the information, the pathophysiology, and the problem solving and the critical thinking. nursing has really evolved. It's a more independent role than it used to be. We're working a lot of times in long-term care. We're the only RN on shift, so we have multiple roles, including everything. We have given up a lot of our task-oriented roles to other scopes. The medication administration part, the task of that isn't always ours anymore, but we're still responsible for making sure that everybody that's providing those skills are well trained, and we mentor as we go with new challenges and changes. We need to provide information off site because we are there as the only one, and things happen from shift to shift, and we need to provide that information, whether it's sharing it with family members or whether it's sharing it with physicians who aren't on site. There's also a lot of other things that have changed. We're in the process now of the point of care training. We're doing it for blood glucose, and we're going to be starting it with INR training, so that a lot of the task and the paperwork and the load of that is now it's going to be changed and more streamlined. So we'll be the masters of that in our sites.